I grew up translating for my parents at every doctor's visit, and I guess that's how I fell in love with medicine. I always asked questions and I always made sure I understood and know everything because that was the way that I thought that I could protect them and keep them safe. I literally thought medicine was magic. Me and my brother are first generation children, and when our parents immigrated here in the 90s, their dream was simple. Their American dream was to build stability, and they either wanted to buy a house or start a restaurant. But unfortunately, life didn't play out that way for us, and they had to give up on that dream. And because they didn't reach that dream, they were worried that I was going to chase something that was risky and expensive. My family and I also grew up with a lot of debt, so we moved around like 3 times. And every time I mentioned at that time that I wanted to go to med school, all they heard was stress and debt. My parents also didn't allow me to go to school outside of Chicago, only within the city area of Chicago, not even the suburbs, but the city only. And that was because my parents were worried because their English is very limited, that if something was to happen to them, I wouldn't make it back in time and something drastic and horrible will happen because of that. Do I think it was selfish? Yes, but honestly, because I translated medical jargon since I was 8 years old, it became the norm, and I thought that the only way to protect my family was to be a doctor. But I realized that there are other ways that I could protect my family while also loving science. And another reason is that I'm also a hardcore empath. I don't know how to turn off my emotional switch. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's a double-edged sword, a two-way street. But sometimes when I walk in a room full of pain, I will carry that pain home with me and I will start replaying that scenario over and over again in my head, blaming myself why I couldn't help that person relieve their pain. My mom was actually the one that told me that she doesn't really think that I could be a doctor because of how strong of an empath that I am. Honestly, I wanted to be a doctor not only for the title and for the status, but also just to help people. I always loved helping people, and I think that medicine is not the only way that I could help people. There's always behind the scenes that I can do, for example, clinical epidemiology. And so I didn't go to med school, not because I couldn't, but because I finally chose a life that wouldn't drown me. Please let me know if you can relate to this. I would love to hear your story. Please share them in the comments below.